Well, seven and a half months after severing an Achilles tendon on this same pitch, Trevor Francis returns to Football League action. In his absence, Forest have lost their way a little, and England haven't successfully replaced him either. But for the moment, the man himself is just excited to be playing again. He keeps the number 9 shirt in a Forest side which shows one change in personnel from Wednesday's Super Cup tie in Valencia. Number 3, Frank Gray, is back after European suspension, but Bryn Gunn keeps his place, switching to the centre of defence in place of Kenny Burns, who is dropped. Well, that was the fate of Peter Ward recently, so he's the substitute now, while at number 11, Colin Walsh continues in place of the recovering John Robertson. Sunderland bring in Gary Rowell at number 6 in midfield, and they switch Sean Elliott to centre-back in place of Sam Allardyce. The thinking there is that Elliott's pace and mobility could help to counter Forest's quick, sharp attacking play. Back on familiar territory, the Sunderland assistant manager Frank Clark, who won a European Cup winners' medal with Nottingham Forest in 1979. Referee Mike Bidmead, who last week at Luton was knocked unconscious when he was struck by the ball. So Forest start with an early touch for Francis, who plays the ball back to Frank Gray. And now to Viv Anderson. Ponte, Sunderland wearing white, and described in the programme today as the only club that Brian Clough has ever really been in love with. He was a player at Roker Park where he sustained the injury which ended his career, and he's also been made overtures from time to time to go back as manager. It's Alan Brown for Sunderland to John Hawley, here's Stan Cummins. Larry Lloyd across, Gordon Chisholm. Into Cummins is Chisholm again. McGovern trying to make up the ground. Sunderland have lost their last 5 away matches, all by the odd goal. Anderson. O'Neill. Nicely away from Gordon Chisholm. Frank Gray joining the attack. On the left, Walsh. Turned in. Oof. Elliott was the man who blocked it. Well, there was an interesting comment passed by Peter Taylor to me this morning about Forest's somewhat disappointing season by their own standards. He feels it's the service from midfield that's let Forest down this year, not so much their strikers. Whitworth takes the kick. Here's Walsh. Wallace. Nice turn by Ian Wallace, and Martin O'Neill on the left. Francis just inside him as he tries to go by Arnott, and does so. Still O'Neill, good cross. It was Ian Wallace who began that move way back with that lovely turn on the halfway line. Hawley, Brown. And Gunn was just a shade slow in making up his mind, but he certainly proved decisive in the end with the back pass. McGovern. That's a foul by Gary Rowell, number 6. Here's O'Neill. Gunn. Frank Gray's made a good run forward here. This is Lloyd, but Gray's in the inside left position. He'll go to the left wing now to try and help Walsh, the man on the ball. And you'll see Gray now making the extra man. There are 5 in the centre here if the ball's played. Still Gray. Beautifully done. This is John McGovern. Hit the post. Ponte. This was international, the scorer, but the goal was all about Frank Gray. An intelligent piece of play from left back from start to finish, because Gray found his position, found the ball, found the space, played the ball back in. John McGovern got it, shot across the goalkeeper, hit the post, and Ponte put the rebound in. But brilliant play by the fullback, initiating the move which puts Forest ahead after 14 minutes. Wallace. I must say there were some strong-arm tactics by this Sunderland defence. That was a foul by Hindmarch on Wallace. Here's Anderson. And this is Lloyd, and again Gray has moved forward in the inside left position. There he is. Always was one of the best fullbacks coming forward in his Leeds United days, and bought by Brian Clough to fill the gap which Frank Clark's retirement left, really. And he's now made, in essence, the first goal against the club of which Clark is now the assistant manager. Nottingham Forest have won 8 and lost 3 of their 11 home league matches before this one, this season. McGovern finds Wallace, Francis, McGovern's coming forward again. Wallace had to stay onside there, so it's got to go square. Ponte, and it came off Gary Rowell, and it'll be a corner. Lloyd coming in. Here's Martin O'Neill with the shot. Just notice one thing there about the Sunderland defence, when you see that again, is that Whitworth, the right back, stayed on the line there, and the other defenders felt he was playing 2 Forest forwards onside. Here's Hindmarch. For using his elbows. Be sure about one thing, that's not just that foul, that's a series of fouls given away by Larry Lloyd in this first half, adding up to a booking. Let's be certain about that. But on that occasion, Hawley seemed to be doing a little bit of climbing as well. Crowd letting the referee know what they feel. Arnott takes the kick. Have to be absolutely right here, and to be fair to the referee, Larry Lloyd has been penalised 6 times in the first half already, and that's why he finally got the book out. You could argue, if you want, about the actual offence which produced the yellow card in the end. Anderson. Francis could be on. 9 marks to beat for pace. Oh! Didn't need to. That's the sort of acceleration the supporters have come to expect from Francis, and the sort which made him, and we hope will make him again, such an exciting player at club and international level. Lloyd, Rowell, Anderson. Head tennis for the moment until Chisholm got it down in the end, and all very untidy before Martin O'Neill found Colin Walsh. Here's Wallace. Frank Gray is just behind him in support. Wallace continues his run. Walsh. So 5 minutes left in the first half. Nottingham Forest 1, Sunderland 0. McGovern for Forest to Walsh. Ponte coming in, off the line. Joe Bolton got it off the line. Walsh's cross, a good one too. Ponte did ever so well to make the header. Goalkeeper beaten, Joe Bolton in the right place. Ponte again. Chance here as he comes in, and Walsh came in. Colin Walsh, the 18-year-old, sliding in at the far post to score in his second consecutive home game. Ponte's cross came back in, it ran loose in that crowd of players, and Walsh slid the ball in. 2-0 to Forest, with under 5 minutes left in the first half. Brown for Sunderland. In his last home match, he scored with an overhead kick against Crystal Palace, Colin Walsh. That was a rather more simple goal. But it's put Forest very much in charge here. That came off Ponte's head, Brown chasing. A little shove by Anderson, but it's still Brown. Here's Rowell. And now Bolton. That's a goal kick. Up to the end of the first half, at which point Nottingham Forest lead by 2-0. Ponte in the picture, got the first and made the second. The official attendance this afternoon, by the way, on a day notable for people who stay away from football and go Christmas shopping, is 23,151. And I think the return of Francis has put a few of those on the gate. And at the start of the second half, 18-year-old John Cook is on in place of Alan Brown in the Sunderland attack. Well, in the match at Roker Park earlier in the season, Sunderland led 2-0 at half-time and were pegged back to 2-2. The task facing them now is to do the reverse on Nottingham Forest. Sunderland playing from the left in the second half. Stan Cummins. McGovern. It's a tactical substitution by Sunderland, I understand. Brown wasn't injured. They've just decided that Cook might have a better chance against this Forest defence. They're bouncing off Francis at the moment. What a great run by him. He's put Wallace in! Oh, he's missed it! Would you believe it? Well, Francis did all the donkey work. He bounced off the first defender, accelerated past the second, took them on at the back, slipped the ball through, and somehow Ian Wallace, usually so reliable from that position, contrived to put the ball wide. It's on by Hawley, looking for Cook, Bryn Gunn covering. Gray. McGovern. O'Neill. Oh, McGovern was left on the ground by Gary Rowell when the ball had gone. Referee had a word with Rowell. And now Francis to Walsh. Francis going for the return. Elliott is with him. Corner. Gray, lifting it back in, Wallace is in there, and Francis is in there as well, and he's spoiled by the goalkeeper. Still in play, Walsh. Good cross again, Turner again, too high for Lloyd to head it back. Here's O'Neill. Well, I think everybody thought Francis might have been on there for the goal that would seal his comeback, but Chris Turner in goal made a very good save. Lloyd. Anderson to Ponte. Cummins. Chisholm. And Wallace getting the benefit of O'Neill's good tackle, and O'Neill is going for the possible through pass on the right. There he is. Outside him is Ponte. 3 the other way. Finally it came to Ponte. Wallace in there. Francis is in there! And he got it in the end. Just a couple of minutes after coming so close, Trevor Francis scores. And the fans absolutely delighted, and so is he. Ponte turned it in, the Sunderland defence hesitated, Wallace was in there, and Francis scooped it into the net. Trevor is back is the cry, and it's very fitting that he should score when you bear in mind that on the day when he was injured here back in May against Crystal Palace, he'd already scored 2 when he was carried off. That day Forest won 4-0. Here they lead 3-0. Hawley, beaten by Lloyd. And I hate to remind Sunderland of this, but on their last 2 appearances on Match of the Day, they've let in 4 goals. Here's Chisholm for them. That was 4-0 at Aston Villa and 4-2 at home to Liverpool. And here they are now, 3-0 down at the City Ground as the fans welcome back their favourite player. Somewhere in there, the Forest management duo are enjoying the comeback of Francis. Here he is again. Hawley. John Cook. Foul by Walsh on Arnott, who was very displeased about it. Whitworth. Arnott. That's a foul by Gray on Cook. Hawley's in there. Rowell is there. Oh, what a good finish! That really was a very good finish. And the ball played in from the free kick, set up by John Hawley's flick, and Gary Rowell volleyed it. And when he's at his best, he's some finisher. And he put that away, no trouble at all. So 56 minutes gone, and Nottingham Forest now lead 3-1. Rowell for Sunderland. Arnott looks for Cook. Wallace turning it on. It's given the travelling Sunderland supporters something to cheer about. Wallace. Anderson. O'Neill. Ponte. Tries to set McGovern up, and it's a retrieving job for Walsh. Gun, Larry Lloyd. Well, he does like to do that from time to time, but he shouldn't do it in that position. This is Rowell again. And Sunderland have got 5 players in attack. As Rowell goes down the left. And Shilton claiming it, but he had no chance on the goal from Gary Rowell's shot. Lloyd. Well, that didn't help Hawley. And that didn't help Nottingham Forest from Larry Lloyd. John Cook. Hawley now. Cummins.
Again, Anderson got his tackle in. Forest might have slackened off just a little since they scored the third goal, and Sunderland back in with a shout at 3-1 and on the attack. This is Raul, their goal scorer. Hawley tucking it on, is Raul again. My word, Forest left some space there, Raul! Well, Brian Clough was heard to say earlier this week that Forest have not been as hungry this season as they were last year, and certainly there was a little bit of complacency in the defence there as Raul tracked his way across the edge of the area, looking for his second goal. O'Neill. Ponte coming up on the right, and turned aside by Chris Turner. From Raimondo Ponte. High march clearance. O'Neill. High march again. Gunn. Hawley. Could be awkward for Forest. They've got Cook on the left of Sunderland. They've got Hawley in the centre and Arnott coming forward as well. Still Cook. Corner. This has developed now into a very good match. High march. Oh. Well, Sean Elliott hangs his head because that could so easily have been 3-2, and Elliott it was who got the last touch right in front of goal. The corner swung in by Arnott, the curved ball. High march with the flick on. Elliott in front of Shilton, but over the top. Turner, he's thrown the big men off there. Francis is in on the near post. Anderson! Oh, he miskicked it. This match is a study in the unpredictable at times. O'Neill. It played in early again. Wallace in there. His back header. Anderson. Is Walsh still free? And O'Neill drives it over with a deflection. Just takes it out for a corner. I think it was Elliott who got the last touch, the number 5. Certainly O'Neill's shot. There's Gray. McGovern. Wallace. Offside flag is up. Won't count. Earlier offside rules out the goal by Ponte. Remains 3-1. Here's Arnott for Sunderland. Bolton. Rao. It's Bolton again. Arnott. Bolton. It's a good effort, that. And Shilton turned that over. That was a remarkably good shot by Joe Bolton. And an excellent save by Peter Shilton. High march. Hesitation in defence, but again, Forest able to play the ball forward from their own penalty area. Walsh has got Francis running, he's offside. Chisholm. Arnott. Whitworth. Cook, McGovern, Arnott, and this is Cook, and a chance, flags up on the near side for offside on the far post. So it didn't matter that John Cook's cross wasn't turned in. There was an offside decision, which Shilton is just checking now with the linesman. That came in the 90th minute. A successful league comeback for Trevor Francis, who scores in a 3-1 win for Nottingham Forest and showed a great many of his old touches. Forest
the better side in the first half, then going 3-0 up. And as far as Sunderland were concerned, their best football came from that point on when they were 3 down. They could only get 1 goal back. And applause for Francis as he leaves the field. A successful league comeback for Trevor Francis.